Welcome back, all you tutors, to your favorite, least educated music podcast on the internet. We Don't Know Toots, hosted by me, Rob O.H. Schultz, with my brother, Steven I.O. Schultz. What's going on, Steve?
Not much, brother.
You know, we're Ohio State fans on this podcast, and now we're national champions on this podcast.
That's right.
And if my it's getting a little bit better, but if my throat sounds a little bit sore, it's because I was at the game Monday and screamed my lungs out, and I had to scream my lungs out because I was sitting in the Notre Dame section, so had to let these kids know what I was there for. And
wow,
it's getting a little bit. It was real bad yesterday.
Flexing on all of our listeners. Be like, yeah, I was at the game. Whatever.
Yeah, let me qualify that with someone else bought my ticket. This podcast hasn't taken off quite the way I'd hoped.
Yeah.
So I was not able to buy my own ticket.
We didn't get sponsored.
This could be the episode that changes everything.
This is what we need to do.
Yeah, they didn't want a music review there for some reason.
Yeah, we need to do like instead of focusing on rock, we focus on marching bands. So that way, by the next Ohio State National Championship, we get invited and they're like, come review our marching band live on your podcast.
So I like that idea. I'm not going to lie. The Ohio State fight song has been in my head for the last 3 days. Like, that's the only song that's been in my head. Well, even though that's not what we're reviewing today. Yeah. We are doing what is, I believe, our first hardcore episode. We haven't reviewed any hardcore yet, have we?
There was one band where I can't remember. I thought there was one that was heavier, but I wouldn't say hardcore. So yeah, probably. Yeah. This may be it, brother.
This is the first, what I believe to be the first one. We are reviewing Stick to Your Guns' newest album, Keep Planting Flowers. And I'm pretty excited to hear your opinion because I know this is not your usual cup of tea.
Yeah, and fun fact, I was reading it as Keep Painting Flowers until you just now said that.
Close enough.
That's literally, because they have the song Keep Planting Flowers in this, and I was like, oh, it's like all-time low song, Painting Flowers.
Nice. Yeah, wow. We're actually just reviewing the Alice in Wonderland soundtrack.
Yeah.
Keep Painting Flowers.
So, Keep Planting Flowers. Wow, what do you know? Well, yeah, so this is definitely not my cup of tea normally. I do know a fair amount of Stick to Your Guns just because I know basically that workout playlist you made started 15 years ago is still the workout playlist I just throw on at the gym. So
same, dog.
Yeah. So
and for those curious, it has 300 followers. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I posted it on Instagram once and that's it. And that was just a couple months ago. I don't know. It blew up way before I ever posted it anywhere. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened. People just trust me, I guess.
Because I remember there was a band that actually messaged you asking to consider putting their song in your.
I've had a couple people do that because Spotify's linked with my Facebook, so they're just like, hey.
Yeah.
And I've actually kept most of those in, and then I put one guy's in, and he messaged me however many months later. He's like, hey man, really appreciated that song. Just hit 1 million streams. Blah blah blah.
Hey.
I just put a new song out. If you want to listen to that one, so I'm like, yeah man, I'm growing the community just a tiny bit.
Yeah,
I love it.
Nice. Look at you, dude.
When you see guns like these on this stocky body, you got to know what this guy listens to.
Yeah, you can't see Rob right now, but trust me, he actually has 2 office chairs he has to sit in with the armrest taken out in the middle, so he can actually fit because he's just enormous.
My muscles have other arms on them that also have incredible muscles. It's just the workouts have been going great. Anyways, let's jump into this.
All right.
Right off the rip, We All Die Anyway. What do you got to say about this one?
I mean, so also, they do this. There are several songs that are pretty short, at least 2 under a minute, and this is under a minute, so
that's kind of the thing with hardcore too.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of notes to be had in this song, but I will say it did set the tone, it sets your expectations pretty accurately for what the entire album is going to sound like. It's going to sound like the song.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I thought it was a real good, nice and heavy song to kick off the album.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know how closely you paid attention to the lyrics, but there is like a flowing theme here. I thought it was a pretty cool. I'll be sure to elaborate on it as we go. But like this one kicked off with a message about you really just gotta stay true to yourself because it's all you have. So that's how they kicked off the album.
I will say I thought the lyrics to this song were a little corny, to be honest.
A little corny.
Yeah, it's just
How so?
because it's literally just like in spite of everything, I can't abandon myself. I won't abandon myself. There's no other way. Be brave. We all die. We all die. We all die. We all die. I don't know. It just kind of seemed like that. Like if I was listening to this in high school when I'm first, being the first kid to listen to hardcore, it's like, yeah, I'm singing these out loud so everyone knows how bad I am. I don't know. Just,
How troubled you are.
yeah, I don't know. It just like seemed like the lyrics were really basic, and it's like that. Like when we were talking about Linkin Park's new album and how it was for like that 45-year-old dad gym rock kind of stuff.
Skillet.
Skillet? Yeah, Skillet.
Yeah, we
See,
did not have
wow.
anything bad to say about. You do that about every time we've mentioned either of those bands.
Yeah, I
They're
never get it
just
right the first time.
synonymous in your head. I don't know what's going on over there.
I even was like thinking about this before I made the remark. I'm like, yeah, I'm right. It's Linkin Park. Skillet's new album. But it just felt like that. It kind of gave off that same vibe with just more like it was just screamier and I don't know. Sorry, Stick Your Guns, but the lyrics for this one weren't it for me. But I mean, it's a short song, so it's fine.
Yep. No. Then we'll
Musically,
keep it
very
short.
cool. Instrumentally, very heavy and good. Gets you rocking.
Oh yeah.
But we can
Well,
slide on to the next one because I mean, don't know how much more to say about a. That's a minute 20
yeah.
long. So, but next one is Spineless. How did you feel about Spineless?
Well, let me say this. Have you ever wanted to send someone a song that basically just said, "Leave me alone, you're crazy and I'm not going down with you"? Because
Uh,
if you have and you never had the song to send, this is the one right here.
hmm.
Especially if you like hardcore. Because that
I
was that was kind of the whole message of the song.
I have not like had that specific need or desire,
Oh.
but
Well, you've lived a very fortunate life.
I have. Amen, brother.
I mean, I can't to be honest, I can't say that I ever have anywhere either, but that is the message of the song.
I
It's
thought,
very I thought it was a very classic stick to your I mean, you've probably not I mean, you said you've heard plenty of Stick to Your Guns, but you're probably not as familiar with them as anyone else, but the very classic sound, very classic Stick to Your Guns sound in the chorus, right into their nice classic heavy riffs.
yeah. There's a lot of good heavy riffs in this album, and so
Oh yeah.
I thought the song was okay. I don't know. It just I don't think I'm gonna gush too hard about any songs on this album. It's a pretty short album. What is it like? 8 songs
Half
or
an hour,
something?
like 20 something minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 songs, 24 minutes. So it's a pretty short album, at least compared to what we normally review. But
Yeah.
I thought it was an okay song. Um, but it kind of I feel like their choruses that they sing when it's not like screaming, when they're actually singing the choruses,
The
a
clean
lot of their
vocals.
choruses sound very similar. Like I kept
I mean,
getting like flashes of Plant Fitness because that's where I work out because I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. And
same brother.
because I listened to that playlist that you made and it has several Stick Your Gun songs in it. So I'd be listening to one of these songs and then it would just like be like, "Oh yeah, this is a gym song." Because I don't know, it's just like I don't
I
know, their
mean, you can
choruses
say
kind of
that
sound
about
the
any
same.
band though. Like every chorus from like every band's discography kind of sounds the same because every band has a sound.
Well, but I'm saying like just the chorus part. It's always like just them like whenever you
Oh, hold on.
ever
Oh, hold
uh-huh.
on. My earbuds are going
That it kind
nuts.
of feels like that
What
like that's the flow of
what is
every
going
single
on
one of their
here?
choruses. Or not every single one, but a lot of their not choruses, verses. But
Hold on. My earbuds are going nuts. Give me a second. Like, my goodness. 1 second. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's annoying. Yeah, I don't like we were just telling our friend the other day. Or what I was telling our friend the other day is this Pixel phone's ear or Bluetooth capabilities are horrendous.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were you saying?
I was just saying, like, I was just talking about how, like, I feel like their choruses sound all the same, and I was hesitant to even bring that up because it is a little unfair, and it's like, yeah, well, everyone's choruses sound the same, or not. I keep saying choruses, verses, but I don't know. It's just I don't know. They have like a really specific sound that they don't. I haven't really listened to them. Like this is their first album I've given a full listen to. I think we heard them at Warp Tour once while we were waiting for a different show to start, and that's
Yeah,
about
that's
the
how
extent.
I ever discovered this band was Warped Tour.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little unfair, a little bit of an unfair generalization on my part for sure, but it's how I feel, and I can't help that.
Well, no one can take that from you.
Exactly.
Well, I was gonna say that this was my favorite off the album,
Oh,
so there
and
we have it once again.
yeah, classic us. We're so quirky.
Classic us. But I also really like the part right before the breakdown, the pulling us below. You got a death wish and you won't let go into the breakdown. Oh,
Mhm.
that's good stuff.
Yeah. They do set up their break. They set up like the setup of their breakdowns is really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's they're very talented in that manner. But overall for the album, like I was jamming on the album. It's just hardcore is not necessarily my jam. I'm more like ballet, like
Mhm.
but with no lyrics.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah,
Nutcracker Ballad or Nutcracker Suite, stuff like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
But
I'm
yeah,
sure your wife was loving you hearing you listen to this week.
I mean, I always have earbuds in, so
Ah,
yeah, I have
well,
respect.
good. You helped her out.
Yeah, but anyways, next one, permanent. Wait,
Permanent dark.
permanent dark.
Permanent dark.
I like this one because it just
Bobby Newport.
Bobby Newport. Anyways, dude,
Okay,
that would
Steven, now we're just wasting time.
no, but that absolutely could. I feel like someone could definitely use that in like a song or something where they use the random
The
clips,
Bobby Newport.
where someone goes
Yeah.
Bobby Newport. That I feel
Be
like
like a
that could
really
work.
good it'd be like a really good right before a dubstep breakdown.
Yeah, yeah.
Bobby Newport.
Port. Yeah, but
Wub 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 wub.
I like this song because it starts off heavy and starts off with you headbanging, and then just
Mhm.
keeps you just banging for the whole
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, I said the same thing. Kicked it off with those real fast drums right off the verse and then right into their riffs.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I didn't have a whole lot to say about this one. This was one that I didn't stick out too much for me. So
Yeah, I just thought the same thing, like, with that starting riff, you're like, "Okay," and then yeah, it,
yeah,
like, has, like, a little bit of a slow, I'm
this
like,
is kind of
"Oh."
like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that classic hardcore sound. It's just like constant 2 minutes of just like nonstop headbanging.
Yeah. It'd be a good concert, like, if I was at a concert and this was coming up, like, I don't know where in the show I'd want
Yeah,
like, if you
this
opened with
this
this
is
and
a
just
good
started
crowd killing
shredding it,
song.
yeah. If you wanted to set the energy for the crowd early, then you could start off with this song, but they have plenty of songs you could do that for, so
Yeah, there's no shortage of stick to your gun songs that give you that opportunity. All right, well, the next one then would be Invisible Rain. I like this one. There's a kind of like a good depression anthem, kind of, is the words I used. Like a good depression anthem about not giving up.
mhm.
Um, they had the line, with your life in your hands and the pain in your heart, right into the move in that first breakdown, like right after that first verse. That was
Mhm.
pretty sweet. They had two good breakdowns in this song.
I think I have my notes a wee bit mixed up here. Oh no.
Okay.
Dude, wait. Quick, Rob, filler. What am I looking at?
Quick, Donnie, play me out.
There's a song on this album, and I know it because it sounded like I wanted you to listen and be like, "Hey, who's this? Who does this sound like?" And I thought I put it
And
for
it
this song
wasn't Invisible Rain?
where they start off talking. It sounds like someone is talking.
No, that wasn't this one.
What?
I think I know which one it is.
Find it. Well, now
I
I
think
look like a dang fool on this podcast.
I think it was the next one. No. No. Keep Planting Flowers, maybe.
Maybe. I'm waiting for
No. Oh, it's Eats Me Up.
No, it's not
There's
that. Dude.
Yeah, there is. That they
Yes.
start out with like that recorded voice.
Yes, Eats Me
But
Up does.
there's another Stick to Your Guns song that I might have in that workout playlist that does that. They do that.
It's this album because I made these notes while actively listening to this album. This is gonna drive me
I'm
crazy.
saying that song is probably reminding you of that other Stick to Your Guns song. Hold on. I bet I could tell you which one too. Because it goes, in this there's no teacher.
It might be. Dude, because it sounded like I even wrote it down. It sounded like what?
Is it Diamond by Stick to Your Guns? Look, go listen to the first couple seconds of Diamond by Stick to Your Guns.
You're gonna have to. You gotta edit this out. This is nonsense I'm doing right now. Diamond by Stick to Your Guns. Let me see.
Well, in the meantime, I'll talk about Invisible Rain because this was a good one that I liked. Where are my notes at? Where did they go? Yeah, and then like we were saying, they set up their breakdowns so well. Like you know, there's just like a good breakdown is preceded by like one good line. Like I know, like you know that A Day to Remember song, Second Sucks, and it's right off the very start of the song where he just goes fight.
Yeah.
And it goes. So like every good breakdown has a good line right before the breakdown. Now in this song when they shout, "Now is the time of monsters." That was sick. That was a sick way to set up the breakdown.
Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote that down too because that was a sick breakdown. I like that. I like the lyric.
Yeah.
The old world is dying. The new struggle is to be born. Like I thought, at least how I understood that. I liked how it said that. Like basically, like it just sucks to be born now because you're. At least that's what it made me think. Is that it's like, yeah, it's rough to be born into this world now. I thought that was cool, but. Rob, Diamond that is not it. Dude, I wrote that it sounds like Yzma from Emperor's New Groove did an opening. And
I thought you meant like it sounded like another song. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. There's a voice in one of these songs because I wrote down and I was listening. I'm like, is this Yzma from Emperor's New Groove? Oh my goodness. That's insane because I just listened to the beginning of the song and it is not this song, so I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's some extreme schizo stuff you got going on over there. You're hearing Yzma talking to you through the hardcore music.
Yeah, so I don't know about that, but anyways, I thought this one was one of my favorite songs on the album personally.
Yeah, this is a great one.
They have
I really like that. Now is the time of monsters.
Yeah. They have like the section where they say where it's like they're building up and they go with your life in your hands and the pain in your heart, move, and then they go like do that little scream. I was just laughing because I was reading the lyrics as the song was being sung, and Spotify just put egg EGH in for the scream, just
That's the part that I was talking about, the first breakdown right after that first verse. But yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Move, egg. That's cracked me up. I was like, what on earth are they doing? But yeah, I thought I like that. Now's the time of monsters and breakdown. But I'll stop saying the same
what's the
thing.
best noise to introduce a breakdown? Because there's, and then there's,
I like the
Yeah,
that's a good breakdown sound.
That's a good setup for a breakdown.
Yeah. And I do like that. A Day to Remember. Fight. Just cool.
Yeah.
Feels like it's from
You
a
also
movie.
can't. If we're discussing this, you can't ignore Knocked Loose's arf arf.
Yeah.
In Counting Worms.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's like that's like the most popular one, I'd say, just because arf arf.
Yeah. Solid.
Because who uses arf arf in a hardcore song?
Knocked Loose does, baby. Anyways, I feel like I've said the same thing like 10 times. That's gonna drive me crazy though that I can't find that Yzma intro, and I'm gonna listen to this album again until I find it.
Well, you better start listening to it now because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's very disturbed and needs answers.
That is not right. Anyways,
Well, then let's move into Severed Forever.
I'll let you take. I'm gonna be honest.
I was get
I'll start off talking about it because I literally essentially have like no notes. I just felt like a really average song on this album.
oh, I was gonna say I was getting Kronk vibes from it.
Kronk?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, you're like trying to
I'm
make me
no, I'm just
schizophrenic now.
no, I'm kidding. Um, but no, like I said, there was like this flowing theme, like at the start of the album, like with "We All Die Anyway." Like there's the stay true to yourself. That's all you have. We all die anyway, so you might as well just be who you are. And then spineless, starting with spineless, and then like up to this point, it seemed like kind of like the more depressed, like um things aren't getting better. Like I'm
Yeah,
ready to give up.
it's a dog eat
Like you
dog
said, like
world.
it's hard to be born now.
Yeah,
Like it's there's that phase of the album, and then Severed Forever. Um, wait, yeah, Severed Forever starts start. I don't know that they start turning the pay or like shifting the vibe because it gets darker than that. But like this song's kind of about being on your own, and you really don't trust anybody. Um, like specifically the line, uh, eating your own for a seat at the table, which
yeah,
I thought was a very cool line.
yeah,
Just talking about being double crossed, you really can't trust anybody, and like it's still in that section of the album where it's like you're going through it,
yeah.
and then I also thought that like this might have been my favorite, like as far as the clean vocals, this one might have been my favorite chorus on the album.
Lyrically, yeah, I will say this song does have some solid lyrics and cool. Like I like that see the table one. I like the a snake that eats itself. Like just I like
Hmm.
their wordage through this song. I just instrumentally, I guess, just
That's the
didn't.
cool thing about hardcore is, I mean, or hardcore and post-hardcore and all their little subgenres, but like very very good lyricism, and that's what keeps me around. Like it's not necessary that I just love screamy music, but
Mm,
and I say this later about one of the later songs, but like with lyric matter, like subject matter, like they're touching on in this album, like the screams just add more to the lyrics. Like it sounds more passionate than like if Sabrina Carpenter or someone was to sing about being depressed. Because
yeah, dude, it
I
would be.
just like the screamy and the anger and just like it sounds more genuine, I guess.
Yeah, I can't imagine Sabrina Carpenter like trying to make these lyrics work in her style. It'd be so
That
funny.
well, yeah, that was just off the. I don't
No,
like.
I get it,
I
but
know I've heard Sabrina Carpenter songs and I'd recognize them, but I couldn't tell you any of the lyrics in them. I don't know really what she sings about, but
I know that espresso
I
one.
imagine. I
That's
mean,
the only
like
one I can name.
pop music is like I saw a video about this recently, but like pop music is really depressing now. So like there is plenty of people singing about it. It's just it sounds more real coming from
Yeah.
a band like this.
Yeah, I take it more seriously too. I don't know. I just feel like super popular mainstream artists like Sabrina Carpenter, I would just never anything they say about having, struggle and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not
Yeah,
saying they
yeah.
don't, but I just take it so much less seriously from someone
Yeah.
who isn't even writing their own music. I'm like, I don't
And
know.
sitting courtside at NBA games.
Yeah,
So
just some.
if you're sitting courtside at an NBA game, you don't get to tell me how hard it is to go through the struggle.
Yeah, like celebrities definitely have different struggles than we do,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
also definitely can have some of the same struggles. But I think they just like they milk it. Like celebrities like that use it to their advantage and be like,
Yeah.
"Well, I
Because
don't
I mean
know.
they
This."
they have an audience and they want to like. 'Cause I mean, they they have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audience and they want to like. They have an audi yeah, I don't want to discount anybody's struggles because obviously, like you said, everybody has different struggles, but just it sounds a little less sincere coming from a billionaire or
yeah,
a millionaire. I'm not. She's probably not even a billionaire, but a millionaire.
yeah, and like, I feel bad saying it, and I definitely don't have the right I'm not saying it the right way, but I'm sure there's lots of people that would
Yeah, no,
get what we're saying.
we are about to get canceled for that big time.
Yeah, classic. Coming
But
for the white men.
there's a
Ugh.
point that we're trying to make. There's a point somewhere in there. If someone more eloquent could elaborate on that, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, but it sounds more legitimate coming from Stick to Your Guns. I trust Stick to Your Guns with my life.
Yeah, if I'm feeling fed up with life or the system or girls,
Mhm,
then I'm going to
mhm.
stick to your guns before I go to the pop artists of today.
Yeah. I'll
And that's all I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna when you next time you have to say anything to someone, with the boombox over your head, you should have Stick to Your Guns playing.
Yeah, next time I need to wake up a girl at her parents' house when she's sleeping on the second floor and I got my boombox out, stick to your guns is the move.
Yeah, makes sense. Alright, well,
All right.
wow, Steven and Rob get real. Hooah. Kind
A
of.
little too real.
Yeah.
Which maybe we can win some people back with what we say about More Than a Witness. The
Mm.
next song up.
Dude, okay, right now, when you're on it, go to, like, I would say, like, I said minute 8, but go to, like, minute 5, maybe. Here, give me 1 second. Let me scroll to it. Yeah. Go to, like, minute 5 and that little guitar diddly-do. What song does that
Mhm.
remind you of? Because I don't know why, but man, it,
Oh, it
got me.
reminds me of A Day to Remember song.
Oh, no. It got it
It's A
for
Day to Remember.
it reminded me of
Yeah. Oh, I heard it again.
We're All to Blame is what it reminds me of by Sum 41.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah,
Mm. If I think of the Day to Remember song, I'll tell you, and then we'll go back to it.
yeah. Well,
But
I thought it
but
was
yeah. So I thought that. Go ahead.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say for a short song, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
But
This song, it as far as the overall message goes, I felt like this is where they started to change a little bit. Like the first couple songs, like I said, were all about life sucks and you're on your own, and this one. I mean, this one was like more of an anti-establishment slash anti-rich people song. Um, cause like what are the first couple lyrics?
yeah, well,
You go ahead and say what you were gonna say.
I'll just going off of what you say, but it's like we turn on each other like dogs in a fight. Like it's just same with the last song where it's talking about basically um there's so many people out there and so little to go around that everyone's like they'll do anything they get
Yeah.
on top of each other to like get success or get
Mm-hmm.
some sort of comfort. And so like that's because it's like the shoulder to shoulder, how can we look away? Like this song's a little repetitive, but it's super short, so that's kind of why it feels that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, it says
Yeah. The thing that I was trying to point out was right before what you just said. It said because if life is a class war, peace is something you fight for, and life admit that life gets colder, so let's stand against them shoulder to shoulder.
yeah.
So yeah, very anti-establishment, anti-rich, but like in essence, just like we're all in this together. Like don't we're all we got here, folks.
Yeah. Like with like it ending with the more than a witness, right? It says we are all complicit. I'm more than a witness. So it's like
Hmm.
we're not. It's not our fault, right? We're responsible for
Yeah.
what's going on. We have to actually
Mm.
be the change, brother.
See, there you go. See, I was like looking at these lyrics, like I could tell that there was something to get out of "We are all complicit," but I was trying to figure out what it meant in relation to the whole song. That's a good way of saying it.
Nice. Yes, I did it.
Nicely done, teamwork.
But just also random side note to kill a vibe. When when they kept saying we are more than a witness, we are more than a witness, it just kept making me think of the Mad Max where it's witness me blood bag and then they jump in suicide bomb. That's what it kept making me think of. Cause it like the problem is like this whole album is talking about like it, like, almost gives me, like, the post-apocalyptic world where it's just talking about how, like, we're overrun and, like, it's not I'm not, like, sitting
Yeah,
here
a
thinking
little
it's
bit.
Mad Max
I see
world,
what
but
you're going for.
it's giving that overcrowded, it's
Yeah.
really dark days kinda vibe, which some of those apocalyptic movies have, and then it just makes me think of the "Witness me, bloodbag." Like, I was trying not to think that, but I did, so but, yeah. Shorter song, not a bunch of notes, but, yeah, I do like I didn't really connect the dots on, like, how it's got the flow to the song or to the album that you're talking about, how, like, now this is where they start shifting, and they're like,
Well,
"Let's stand together."
I don't wanna know Toots too hard here, but, a lot of albums generally have a theme or a message.
Mm,
I don't but that might be knowing Toots a little too much for my liking.
yeah, I try not to go that deep on it. Honestly, I wish you hadn't told me that this one had a theme.
Well, like I said, hardcore has very good lyricists, across the spectrum, and I l as someone that listens to a lot of music, lyrics stand out to me a lot, so I can't help but notice it.
Wow, you're so deep, Robert. Oh my
I
gosh.
really am. I'm the Socrates of hardcore music, the
Yeah.
Socrates.
Oh my goodness, Rob. That should be your hinge. Or what? Well,
Mm,
you're probably more on Grinder, right? So put that in your
yeah,
Grinder bio.
Grinder's easy. I don't need any catchy lines.
Yeah, that's fair. Plus, I'm sure there's a lot of hardcore fans on Grinder.
Well, now that you mention it.
Not what I was going
For
for, but
for
worked out
those listening
magnificently.
along at home, I am not on Grindr. I just want to clarify. You can
Yeah.
be on Grindr if you want, but I want y'all to know that I'm not.
So stop looking.
I'm a Tinder man.
Yeah.
Actually,
Anyways.
I recently uninstalled all dating apps because they all suck.
Yeah.
I saw something that said if you get a match on a dating app, you're in like the top 1% of users.
Whoa.
And my experience, I mean, I've gotten matches, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they're not matches that I'm gonna message.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, dating apps suck. Count yourself lucky, Steve.
I
Mr.
do
IO.
indeed. Very lucky.
Alright, so, anyways,
Alright.
let's move on. This is definitely where the album finally shifts tones into even darker
Yeah.
themes with Keep Planting Flowers. This is a slower for heart or slower for Stick to Your Guns because they still do some screaming and some heavy guitars, but a very sad suicide song about, wishing you had done more, said more to someone that you lost.
I laugh because I even typed this title out as "Keep Painting Flowers," but
Of
I'll
course
be
you did.
honest, not because of the message, but this was one of my musically, this is one of my favorite songs from the album. Like, I thought
I figured it would be.
yeah, like, I really like that.
Just because hardcore's not your thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, it was I just like the whole intro and then that part where it's talking about, like, singing the "You Were Never Invisible to Me" section, and I
Mhm.
thought the
That's a good
instrumentals
line.
and the lyrics were really, really good, so it is one of the
Yeah.
softest on the album, for sure.
Yeah, they had another line that said, "I don't know what you endured because life is such an unbearable reward." That's such a good line, especially for a song like this, because I
Yeah.
mean, the whole song is about, "I gave you your space when you asked for it, and I wish I hadn't, like, I wish I would've pried a little bit more and, like you said, just let you know that you're never invisible to me." And then the guitar work and the refrain once they start getting, like, the heavier guitars going again, it's just super good, gives you goosebumps, and then it slows right back down into that outro and where they keep saying, "You were never invisible to me."
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like, this kind of music just feels so much more real when you talk about when you have songs like this.
So Rob, let's get deep, brother. What do you think they mean when they're saying "Keep Planting Flowers"? Because I was, like, kinda just figuring out because like, that's the title of this song, and they have Uh, like you just said, I know life can be such an unbearable reward. Then it says, so for those who've truly been devoured, keep planting flowers. I'm like, it
Well,
just got
because
me thinking.
you and I have lived very fortunate lives. We've been very blessed, and
Yeah.
we haven't like everyone's lost someone along the way, but in general, you and I are around people that are all in good health and like we don't have to visit too many graves is what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
when you go to a grave, you're typically planting flowers.
Oh. See,
So, you can choose
gotcha.
to ignore someone's struggles or you can give them their space because you think that's what they need, but then you're just gonna have you can keep planting flowers if you want, but you gotta help somebody at some point.
Yeah. See, my thought was like when it was saying like the for those who've truly been devoured, I thought that meant like people that really feel like it's the end, just keep planting flowers, like keep trying to focus
Oh.
on bright, colorful things, stop and smell the roses. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's where I think yours might be a little more accurate though.
Well, see, that's the beautiful thing about music right there is
Yeah.
it's up to the listener's interpretation. So whatever the song means to you, that's what the song means.
But it does verge a little on too much knowing Toots, so I'm gonna stop my analysis there.
We're just knowing the English language
Yeah, exactly. So, well,
or
very
knowing poetry.
interesting take, brother.
I'm glad you asked that. That was a good question. We got two different viewpoints there. That was cool.
Yeah. That's good podcasting right there.
That's what We Don't Know Toots is all about.
That's right. Asking the real questions. Anyways, well,
Well, then, Eats Me Up would be the next song up. What'd you think?
um, it has a great breakdown in it, like a lot of these songs do. So I thought the song was pretty solid, but like they have that little guitar trill, like right at the not beginning of the song, but like where they're like, "What?" Oh, I thought you said, "Oh, I
Oh,
just
I
clicked."
didn't say anything.
I clicked play on the song to see if I could find where it was, and it starts with talking. But
And this is not the Yzma voice that was talking, was it? Like, no, no,
no,
not making fun of you, but the voice at the start of the song, that's not the Yzma voice.
no, this is a guy's voice. I'll find the Yzma voice. I'm gonna listen
Well,
to
yeah,
all of
but there's only
Spotify till
two
it.
songs left, so.
Well, I don't know, dude. I'm losing my marbles. But but they use like a teen. I don't know. It's hard for me to vocalize it, but they use that in a lot of their songs. It's like a signature sound of theirs or something. But
Mhm.
I don't know why I felt that was necessary to write down and talk about. But
I
there
think
you
I
have
think I
it.
know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. So I thought the song was pretty solid, like
Mhm.
instrumentally. But dude, literally listen to
Yeah.
the verses though, and it's the same kind of flow and vibe that I was talking about. It's like the
Yeah, I know what you're saying, cause yes, they do sound alike, but, like, you just gotta see it as bands sound the same
yeah.
as their other songs. But, yeah, this one was, sticking with the suicide theme and life, like, you're ready to give up. This is another one of those it's not quite a suicide song, it's not quite about that, it's more about, like, the last song was talking about how I wish I would've said something, and this one's more like I want to say something, but life's way too hard for me right now. I'm dealing with my own things, and it hurts that I can't help anyone else because of these problems, and it's like I said, eats me up inside.
Hmm.
So it turns the more, it's a little more positive, and the message turns a little more positive at the breakdown when it says, "You can't fight for yourself, or you can't fight for anyone if you can't fight for yourself." So this
Mm.
is where they start to like really turn the message here into we can do this, you can do this, you got to fight.
Nice. I've enjoyed your lyrical dissection and analysis on this album because I mean,
Well, I really liked this album. I've been listening to it out of pleasure a lot,
nice.
not just for this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I listened to it a lot, but a lot of times it was like while I was at work or something, so I'd like have to go back to songs to actually listen to them again. And then when I was taking notes, a couple of it was whilst driving. So I didn't like
Fair.
sit and actually read because a lot of times if I'm taking notes, like I'll actually sit and read the lyrics while I'm listening to a
Yep.
song. So didn't do a great job of that this time around. So I appreciate your inside scoop.
Well, there has to be one of us not knowing Toots.
Exactly. Well, I guess that takes us or yonder to Who Needs Who.
This was a very, very hard classic hardcore song, just short and super hardcore right off the rip. Just a quick, good minute of just headbanging. That's all you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's less than a minute long, but you get a solid minute of headbanging. I like that, like, around the 30-second mark, they hit that where it's like you're not, like, fast headbanging, it's where you're just sitting there like,
it's like where you're ready to start moshing again. Like, you've been moshing, and then, like, this is where they build the wall of death.
Yeah. So I like that section in this very short song, but it packed a lot of meaning into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good concert song for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious how, like, cause like I actually totally missed that this song happened. Like I was sitting there taking notes, and then I went to type in notes, and I was like, wait a minute, did I listen to Who Needs Who? And I went back, I was like, oh, because it kind of just, I don't
You
know,
blink
just,
and you miss it.
yeah, I kind of blended in enough with the song before, blended in with Eats Me Up, just enough to where I totally missed that it happened, and then I was like, oh heavens. So I had to go back and listen, but it's just a quick shred.
Well, all right.
Well,
Here we are at the final track, Hate for You, spelled H8, number 4U.
I believe it's actually
Featuring the CU Space Cowboy.
for you, and it's raising awareness for
for
Haiti.
You? Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
For You.
It's
That does
basically
make sense.
all the Haitians that moved into Finley. This was like they love this song. That's because it talks about Haiti for you. So, but
You love to see representation in hardcore.
yeah, um, but I like this song, but it has like it hits like around the 30-second mark. If you go there, you might know what I'm going to talk about, but like hits a great like breakdown, and it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And then they bring like this scream in that goes through the next few lines, and it was so weird.
That's the CU Space Cowboy feature. That's their scream.
Oh, it was so weird. It sounded like it didn't even sound like an actual scream, and I was like, ugh, gross. Like it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. I had to shake it
They
off.
I mean, I appreciated it. I liked it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't have any problems with screams, or at least not as much as you do. And I just like, cuz when I first listened to this album, I just, I was walking around doing whatever I was doing when I was listening to it, just for fun at first. And then I was like, this is not their normal screamer, cuz Stick to Your Guns has like that real gravelly scream. But
Yeah.
then CU Space
Nice.
Cowboy has that much higher pitched,
I don't.
like, scream.
Yeah, like, yeah, this isn't my normal music, and I don't really listen to much music with screaming, but I don't, like, hate screaming that much, just that scream it
Yeah.
was a weird scream where it didn't even sound like a person was
It's
doing it.
very intense. Yeah, it's very intense.
It was, like, high pitch, I don't know, but
Well
good guitar
well,
and
when I
good
saw this
drums.
Mhm.
It's instrumentally very good. I really like the instrumentals in this song a lot, like, good riffs,
Yeah.
good heavy rock, but scream turned me off, brother.
Yeah. Well, at first, I thought that they were already, like, changing the direction of the album again, because, like, I saw the title "Hate for You," and I was like, "Oh, this song is just about hating somebody." But it's more about life is hard, and, like, all these things you're feeling that they've talked about this whole album. Among all these things that you're feeling, you've got hate for yourself. I was like, "Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay." So we're still on this. We're still turning this album around, talking about, like, fixing yourself a little bit, because it's more of a rally cry to stand up for yourself.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, that was kind of the flow of the album. It starts, life's getting pretty hard, and then it touches on suicide, and you've given up, and it's over now. And then really just that last song, because Who Needs Who was very short, and you don't get a whole lot out of it, but Hate for You is really where they turn it around, just about you've got this, stand up and fight kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to their next album where it'll be all about how we won. We did it.
And it's just gonna sound like Skillet's new album.
It's gonna be a super positive album.
It's gonna be very patriotic. He's gonna come out in a cowboy hat. What was the song where he came out in the cowboy hat for the music video? I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
I sent it to you.
I don't remember. Yeah,
it was terrible. I remember we didn't really like the album at all, but we really didn't like that song. And then I sent you the video that he posted of him singing it in a cowboy hat. I'm like, oh man, he's really leaning into this.
Yeah, it was. Let's see here. I'm like looking for it. It was bad. It was bad though. Yeah, definitely not ideal. There it is. Let's see here.
Okay, I'm finding it here.
All That Matters.
Was it All That Matters? Yeah, My Faith. Yeah. That was the one.
It's just I gotta get out of that. That was bad. Blah. I feel bad. Sorry. Or this isn't a Skillet. Wait. Yeah,
no, this is not a Skillet or a Linkin Park album.
Yeah,
review.
I had to double check I was getting the band name right. And I nailed it. Got it on my first try. Skillet, name drop. All right. Anyways. Yeah, overall though, okay, for it not being my type of music, overall I thought the album was pretty solid. So,
yeah,
like pretty short. I don't know, like what is the rest of their albums look like lengthwise? Is it normally this excuse me, this short?
Well, like I said, hardcore is generally fairly short.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I mean, it's not gonna be like a full album like we normally listen to.
Yeah. Well, solid album. I mean, definitely, Rob. You give the final say if you recommend this to hardcoreists or not. Hardcorers.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think if you like hardcore or any of their little subgenres, if you don't mind some screaming and some darker subject matter, Keep Planting Flowers / Keep Painting Flowers by Stick to Your Guns is
All Time Low.
It's a good album. Give it a listen.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been listening to it for pleasure, a lot, just because I've already added quite a few of the songs to different playlists.
Yeah. Well, Rob, I suppose we'll squirt on into our
Yeah, let's do some
weekly
squirting.
Rex song recommendations.
What do you got?
All right, so you're gonna see this probably eventually at some point in our little game, but this song's called "The Last Time" by Feral Minx.
The Last Time.
Yeah, so I wanted to I'm actually reading the Feral Minx is their band name, so I'm like I want to figure out exactly what kind of sound they have. I like it kind of gives me like a alt blues rock. I don't know. I said this a million times and I'll keep saying it again. Like I am so awful at picking out
specifying genres.
But it's definitely an alt rock. And I'm reading through here and I'm like, "Oh, they got recognition when they first started. They only have 10,000 monthly listeners, but they got recognition from the Glorious Sons, and they performed with the Glorious Sons, and I'm like, hey, that's one of my all-time favorite bands now. So
yeah,
kind of makes sense why I like it. So that's a band. See, not all bands have their verses and their sounds sounding the same because they have 15 different sounds. But yeah, so
hashtag not all bands.
Yeah. So The Last Time by Feral Minx has just a cool song. I like the sound a lot. I need to give that's another band where I need to go and actually give them a listen to their music because that song's not even in their top songs. Oh, I have their other top songs saved though. Anyways,
I'll toot that one into my ear holes.
All right, yeah. Fill up both holes, Rob. both ear holes?
Well, I listen to a lot of music while I'm at work. It's unsafe to have both earbuds in.
Yeah, I always have one in, and I just sit at a desk. I don't like having both in, dude. I always, like, feel like I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
miss
love it.
something. I do at the
I mean, you're
gym.
sitting in an office. What are you gonna miss?
Someone coming in the door, someone calling up to my office or something like that.
Oh,
Plus, then if
fair.
they
Yeah, that's true.
die, like, if I like to have one so that way I always have music playing because if one dies, then I just put the
True.
other one in,
Yep,
so
yep,
it's a
yep.
system. Anyways,
It's a strategy.
educate me,
Well,
brother.
I'm gonna recommend a Stick to Your Guns song that maybe you've heard, I don't know. But it's called The Crown. Has a lot more of the clean vocals. I mean, there's obviously still screaming and heavy riffs, but a lot more of the clean vocals. It was the very first Stick to Your Gun song that I ever heard back when I saw them on Warped and I went straight to YouTube. It was the very first song that I found, so it was the first one I listened to. I was like, ooh, I like this. And then it got really heavy, and back then I wasn't as into heavy music, so I
Mhm.
didn't dive super hard into Stick to Your Guns back then, but over the years, obviously, they've grown on me. But The Crown, you'd probably like it. If you liked this album, it's got more clean vocals than most songs on this album, so.
I definitely listened to a lot of this album because I was listening to other parts of or other musics of theirs after the
Then you may have heard it.
yeah. So I'll squirt that into my ear holes.
A lot of squirting going on.
Yep. So we're gonna squirt and we'll get back to you guys on the results.
All right, everybody, this has been We Don't Know Toots reviewing Keep Planting Flowers by Stick to Your Guns.
Thank
Hope
you
y'all enjoyed.
for stopping by.
Thank you for tooting by.